Hello everyone! In today's video, we are going to be doing a world tour of my 1.19 Let's Play world. This world holds such a special place in my heart because it's really the series that has kicked off my YouTube channel, and honestly, I think this is my favorite Minecraft world I have ever created ever before. I'm going to try to go chronologically, but also logically, if that makes sense. And I'll also leave my playlist linked down below so you can watch the whole series if you haven't already. So of course, first things first, here is the good old starter house. It's so cute. I love this. It makes me so happy. Here on the inside in this first room, it used to be a storage room, but I transformed it into a cozy living room instead whenever I built an actual storage building. I love all of the cute decorations, but in this room we have our kitchen where we would do all of our cooking and where I will continue to do all of my cooking if I ever need to cook anything. And up here we have just some additional space where we can store additional things. I think I put seeds up here at one point whenever I just ran out of storage space. And then going back down the ladder through the kitchen and through the living room up this ladder, we have just a little bedroom. It's kind of like a loft situation. We have done many sleeps in this little bed here. And leaving the storage room and looking on the outside, we have a little garden here where I originally had potatoes planted, but I guess it's now a carrot field. And moving on down this pathway, we have our barn where we keep all of our cows. And then also we have a little donkey friend over here named Barry because he likes to get stuck in sweet berry bushes. But inside of the barn, we just have this little water trough that they love apparently. And upstairs, we just have a little hayloft of sorts with a bed. I don't think I've ever really slept in this bed, honestly, but it's still cute nonetheless. And then of course, we have like the little horse stables of sorts here where Barry is, and we never filled this one in. We'll just continue on down this pathway kind of past the barn. I think I want to make a right over here, and then up this little staircase we have our windmill. I love adding windmills in Minecraft because it adds so much to your skyline and they're just so cute. There's just such a nice addition to your world. But inside, it's kind of a automatic bone meal machine of sorts. You can just put seeds up here or anything you want to compost up here and then it'll just turn into bone meal down here. So it's functional, but yes, I did build it for purely aesthetic purposes. And then we just have a bit of a sprawling wheat field around here. I had originally planned on making it really, really large and just like going all the way through here. But frankly, this gave me enough wheat and I didn't really need to make it any larger. So we'll just go down the pathway from the windmill and through this cozy little forest here. Originally, there were no trees here, but I planted lots of trees. So it feels like you're kind of walking through a forest, which I think feels so cozy. And down here, we have our pumpkin patch. This was so fun. I built it right when fall was about to come. It was still pretty hot outside, but I was really, really craving those fall vibes, and this perfectly scratched that little fall itch that I was having. We have a little hay wagon and like a little stall and stuff of sorts. We even have a little custom trees and just some little leaves laying around. I love how this pumpkin patch turned out. And it's actually functional too, because if we go down here, it is an automatic pumpkin and melon farm. So way down here, we have all of our pumpkins and melons, and I did recently clear it out. So there's not too many down here. And also I didn't really care too much about how it looked down here. I just wanted it to be very functional. And that it was. It definitely gave us lots of emeralds. And we'll go ahead and leave the pumpkin patch. And if we continue down this pathway here, we will enter into our farming village. So I wanted to do kind of a more organic villager breeder rather than a very functional, like mechanical one, I guess. So this is my villager breeder right here. This is where I have bred all the villagers that I've needed for this world. Originally, it was just these two buildings, but I did expand it a little bit here recently, and I added this build here. But look at all of the villagers and also all of the little iron golems. They have definitely spawned quite a few. I briefly did interior in these houses, but honestly, I didn't care too much about these interiors, but we kind of have it going on. They definitely don't have enough beds up here, but that's okay. This house here, I did even less interior. I think I literally just have some beds up here maybe. literally 2 beds and an iron golem. And then down here on the second level, yes, lots of beds. So they do have lots of beds, that's for sure. Hence all of the villagers in this farming village. But if I continue over here underneath these rocks, we have an underground railroad system where I can transport the villagers anywhere I need to, kind of. Maybe not anywhere I need to, but they do have access to a little zombie purification system. And then also the library, because I wanted to zombie purify all of my librarians. And since this was my villager breeder, I needed a way to bring them to places. But having a permanent zombie and just like a little system like this makes your life so much easier. So if you haven't done something like this to make your zombie purification process easier, I definitely recommend it. But if we go down here, then it'll lead to the library that we'll go to in just a second. But I'm going to go ahead and go down the rail system here and go back up to the farming village. And we'll just place those rocks back. Now, leaving this beautiful farming village, let's continue on down the path. I guess while we're here, we'll go ahead and look at the storage building. First of all, let's just admire it from afar. Isn't it beautiful? I really wanted to do a storage building that wasn't like a warehouse or anything industrial looking. I wanted it to feel very natural, so I went with this like greenhouse storage building, and I love how it turned out. We have a few little alleys in here, and I think they're all stuck except Buttercup. Buttercup is always trying to escape, but the rest of them are just stuck in various places around the storage building. But just look at it, it looks so good, and this has definitely provided me plenty of storage for my world. And there's just so many little plants and greenery, and look at the little flower pots up here. Aren't they just so cute? I love this storage building. I think it fit into my world so well. The moss on the ground, I love it. I don't have any complaints. Frankly, I wouldn't mind recreating this over and over again because I don't know if I can top this. It's just so cool. I love it. But if we leave the storage building and head down the coarse dirt pathway, we'll go to the little bee sanctuary of sorts. However, I don't know if it's really a sanctuary because I'm not sure if there are any living bees. What happened to them? I have no idea. Like, how could they have died? Oh, there is a bee. We have one bee at least, but I really wanted this to feel like a flower field of sorts and like have lots of mounds and stuff. And each mound had like a different kind of flower. If I'm being completely honest, I don't love how this turned out. I don't think it's bad by any means. I'm not impressed by it. Oh, we have tons of bees. Okay, they're all living. We are good to go. No worries here. They were just all in their hives. But yes, it's not bad by any means, but it's not blowing me away, honestly. It's cute, but that's kind of where it ends. Now we'll just go down this pathway from the storage building and continue down here. We'll just pass by the starter house and go up this little staircase here. Look how cute the staircase is. I love it. I'm just so proud of myself for adding all the small details of my world. I think it makes it feel so much more alive. But this is the potions tower, and I'll go ahead and be the first one to say that I hate doing interiors. However, I think the interior of this potions tower turned out so cool. I love it. And it's also very organized and very functional in here. I stayed really organized in this world, so I'm quite impressed with myself. But if we head on up the spiral staircase, then we'll go on over to the second tower. That's just a tiny little bedroom. I actually have slept in this bed a couple of times, but I think adding this second tower coming off of the main tower is just so fun, so magical, so fantastical. And I think that this is one of the first builds of the world that I truly got to play with color. I built it pretty early on, and I just love all of the pops of color using this crimson wood and then also the terracotta. That was a lot of fun. Let me stand back just a little bit so that you can get a bit of a better view of the tower. There she is. I love it. It's such a cool build, and I love like the vines going around the tower as well. Now we will continue down the pathway. I'm going to go here later, but we'll turn down this way right now and go on over to the enchantment setup pretty much right below the tower, and just look how beautiful. I did this on episode 3 of my Let's Play, and I'm still so impressed with myself because my goodness, look at it. Isn't it just absolutely gorgeous. We definitely added the frogs a little bit later, but everything else we added like right away. And if we go down the lily pad pathway and in the little cave, here is our enchantment setup of the world. Just look how beautiful. I am so impressed with myself, honestly, of this big terraforming project that I did, because of course it was just like a little mountain and I did all of this. It definitely wasn't hard by any means, but it just looks so good. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm like so proud of myself. And then of course, this is the little pond that we saw when we were going up to the potions tower, but I wanted to have a top pond going down into a bottom pond. And then we also have this little mini custom tree of sorts. I wanted to do so many custom trees in this world, and I really didn't do many at all. But I did do a few, and here is the first one, I think, that I did in this world. And I guess since we are at the starter house, might as well sleep in our little starter bed. I'm honestly not sure if this is my first bed of the world, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And we even have a little clock here. It actually comes in handy, if I'm being honest. Good morning. And we'll continue on from our enchantment setup down here to our nether portal spring. I did this on episode 4 of my Let's Play, and I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know how I thought I could pull this off, but I did, and I'm so proud of myself again for pulling this off. I just love working with water, I think, in Minecraft. It's just so beautiful, isn't it? So we have this upper pond here with a couple of lily pads, of course. And I think you can actually go down here as well, though I've never really explored down here. Isn't that so cool? But we have a few waterfalls going down here into this pond. We have a couple of custom trees, and then of course the nether portal. All in all, just a really, really cool terraforming project that I love so much. I think it's so cool. And we won't go into the nether because I didn't really do any kind of builds or really anything in the nether. If you didn't already know, I hate the nether. But if we go on over here, here is our miner's cottage. And I built this whenever I did our strip mines that I'll go to here in a second. But I wanted a place for the miners to go and rest and recuperate after a very long mining trip. So, I mean, I guess there's just one bed, but there's a little kitchen, a little fireplace. It's nice and cute and cozy in here. And then I think I did a great job on the decorations out here. We have like this little log thing and like a little workstation area. I'm just very happy with the details that I put into this place. But we'll go ahead and go down here, and there's like this little stream running down. Again, love using water in Minecraft as terraforming, not just like trees and bushes and stuff. Water is a great terraforming tool too. But way down here, I think there's water. I think we'll be fine. Yes, that would be bad. But down here, I didn't do much. I did a bit. We have like a little bit of resources, maybe. Okay, a little bit of gravel, and that seems to be about it. But we do have plenty of storage for any resources we get while strip mining. And I feel like strip mining is one of those things that you do during early game and then you just never ever do again, because once you have enough diamonds, like what do you do with your strip mines? Sure, I guess I could go down here if I needed more deep slate, but like I don't know, there's just really not much to do in your strip mines after you've been in the world for a long time. But we'll go ahead and go back on up to the surface. And then here we have our blacksmith. I kind of wanted to separate this world in districts of sorts. So we have the mining district over here. Over there, of course, we have the farming village, and then we also have a fishing village over there that we'll get to in a second. But that's kind of where my brain was going whenever I planned this world. I love the use of mangrove. I love the little diagonal entrance here. I love all of the details I put into it. This is definitely my favorite blacksmith I've ever built. Not saying I've built a lot, but I just love how it turned out. And then of course we have some cute little workstations up front, and then another one on the side with like a fireplace and everything like that. On the inside, I actually really worked hard on this inside. We have an auto smelter over here, which I think is so cool. I definitely want to always put an auto smelter in my world because I usually don't. But they're so cool and they're so useful. So this blacksmith is actually functional, not just for aesthetic purposes. And I did build it whenever I got netherite in this world. So that's kind of the reason why I built this. But on the second floor, we just have a little storage situation going. Really not much function there. And then on the upstairs, we have a little bedroom of sorts. Honestly, pretty impressed with myself that I furnished this place as well as I did, because sometimes I'll just skip the furnishing completely completely because I don't like to do it, frankly. Oh, and then last thing, I almost forgot because it's complete and utter trash. But if we go down here, then we have our iron farm that just doesn't work. I built it in the mountain because it's ugly. I didn't just want it like floating in my world, but I also wanted it to be loaded in. So like I've tried things to fix it. I tried this like redstone situation and it worked for a time, and I don't know. It definitely gave us some iron, but like these are supposed to give you so much, like enough for a beacon, and it definitely never gave us enough iron for a beacon for sure. So I don't know, but okay, we tried. At least I can say that I tried. I'm really not much of a farming kind of Minecraft player. I'd rather explore and build. That's pretty much it for that section. We'll just continue down the pathway here. Walk past the little enchantment setup and then down this pathway. And then again, I just added lots of trees and greenery so that it feels like you're walking through a forest. And over here we have our library with all of our librarian villagers. Hello, villagers. Can I get in? Are you gonna escape? Please don't. Okay. In hindsight, I probably should have given them stalls and trapped them in areas, but I didn't. I kind of just let them roam free. I think that I could have done a much better job with the interior of this library. I don't think it's bad by any means, but I'm not obsessed with it like I am with some of my builds in this world. But we have like all of the trades that we need for a Minecraft world with all of these villagers. So even though that the interior might not be my favorite, it still works. And then down here in these trapdoors, we have access to the railway that we went earlier. I don't know how the sun is already setting, but if we leave the library and go down this pathway, to the left, we have our cat cafe that I built just because I wanted to, for no other reason besides I thought it would be cute. And apparently we have a bed here. I had no idea, but we have a bed there. And look at the little kitties poking their head through. So here is our cat cafe. The interior I do like. We have a little cat tower, some little goodies, lots of seating areas. And on stream, I actually got most of the cats. We don't have the jelly cat, unfortunately. And if you watch that stream / watch the VOD, then you know the story behind that. But did I do anything up here? Honestly, I can't remember. I did absolutely nothing up here. That's unfortunate. I really kind of totally forgot about that. But out here, we have a cute little eating area. Look how precious. I love this. Don't you just want to sit there and drink a little coffee, eat a little cake? So cute. And also this blue color, I love it. It's beautiful. But we'll leave the cats be and continue down this pathway. I built this pathway so that we can get to our skeleton spawner easier. And the whole reason we even got Barry, our donkey friend, is so that we could go down this pathway with him. But we'll just walk down the pathway. Usually I'll just use my elytra now that I have one, but we'll take a nice scenic stroll down the pathway instead. And right down here, we have the cabin in the woods. Just a cute, cozy cabin. We have this little like workshop here on the side. On the inside, we have access to the skeleton spawner, a cute, cozy kitchen, and then a tiny, tiny, tiny loft up here. But it's cool because if you're working in the skeleton spawner and you come up here and realize it's nighttime, you can go to sleep in the bed. And then of course, the skeleton spawner won't get in the way of the bed because it's so far up on the surface. But we'll just drop down the drop chute, and this is our skeleton spawner. I wanted it to be nice and cozy down here, even though that it is a place for us to get rid of skeletons. And we got so much profits from this farm. If we look in all these barrels, then we definitely have stuff everywhere that's not very organized, unfortunately. But I am happy that I took the time to make this place nice and cozy, even though that's just a simple skeleton spawner farm. I think if we... Oh! I completely forgot that I did this. We have an enchantment setup down here. That is super handy, isn't it? And then in order for the skeleton spawner to be active, we have to stand like kind of around here, and then they will just, you know, do their little thing, all the technical stuff, and then just fall down here. It has definitely gotten the job done. It's been my #1 source of experience in this world. And of course, we love skeleton spawners because they give us bones, and bone meal is so useful. And I think I found this pretty early on, so happy about that. And I will go ahead and just elytra back home. We'll go right past the cat cafe and the library, and then we will check out the fishing village next. right past the starter house and down this pathway will get us to the fishing village. Now, I love how this village turned out. However, I tried to get villagers to live here and really populate the village with villagers, but I just made it so much harder on myself because I put barrels everywhere. And if I truly wanted to populate the village with a bunch of villagers, then I should have planned so much better. And I wanted to add a bunch of stalls and have villagers permanently in the stalls, but they are not villager proof. I just didn't really plan for this place to have villagers. I kind of planned after the fact, I guess. But nonetheless, I love this village. I really love my use of acacia wood. I love acacia wood. I think it's such a pretty wood type. I know people definitely have opinions about it, but I just love orange. Orange is such a pretty color. Yes, there is a snow block there and we're going to leave it there, but do you see what I mean? Like the villagers, they just get stuck. They can't pathfind on campfires, so yeah, they just kind of like swim. We have an iron golem also going for a swim, so that's great for him, I guess. But then down here we have all the houses that I didn't really furnish actually. I don't have a reason other than I did not want to furnish them. But then I put a bunch of beds in here because I really wanted it to be a place that the villagers could go and sleep and, you know, do all their villagery things. But I added just like lots of cargo and stuff around and just lots of little details, some banners, just so much stuff in this village. And I love how it turned out. I love the color palette of this whole place. I think it's so bright and colorful. Just look at all the banners and the acacia wood. Oh, and then we can also see the potions tower from up here. But this place is actually functional too because it is also an automatic sugarcane farm. I was imagining that some of the villagers could be like sugarcane farmers and then some of them could be like fishers or something. So that's kind of what my thought process was. But this sugarcane farm is definitely very profitable. It is 2 levels, so we get the maximum sugarcane. Down here, I never get the sugarcane, so there's definitely quite a lot there. The thing about sugarcane farms is that you gotta make a lot of them if you want to get any amount of sugarcane at all. But I guess, frankly, I'm not really over here that much, so I guess it's usually not loaded in. But like, look at him. He wants to be a farmer so bad. Like, he wants that barrel, but like, he's a villager. You know, and villagers are not the smartest creatures. And then we have a couple over there. This dude has figured it out. I guess that's his barrel. I don't know. Again, if I truly wanted villagers in this village, I should have planned it better. And frankly, I only cared about aesthetics whenever I was initially building this and then decided to do the villagers second. And I can't believe the sun is literally setting again, but we will go for a quick swim right over this way. But over here we have our axolotl sanctuary, and here is our axolotl fountain. It's a little questionable, but if you look really hard, you can tell that's an axolotl. I just wanted something here on the beach, and like a fountain seemed like a good idea. But if we go down this little tunnel, this little lush tunnel, and down here we have a custom tree with a bunch of axolotls swimming around. And pretty much all of them have names too. I had everyone help me name all of the axolotls. So here's Lemonade, and then of course all of the other ones are named. Again, I just love working with water, I guess. Like, doing this little tour just shows me that I love working with water in Minecraft. This project definitely took me a while because I had to dig out this entire place. And it probably could have even been bigger. Maybe I should have used TNT. That probably would have made things a lot easier, frankly. But nonetheless, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And look at all the axolotls. They're so happy and they actually stay alive, believe it or not. I was a little bit afraid that they were gonna like go on the leaves and stuff and, you know, meet their end, but they're all alive and they're thriving. We're almost done with this world tour, but let's go ahead and go on top of this mountain here. The axolotl sanctuary is right there, so it's pretty close to that. But on top of this mountain, there's like this little crater right here in the center. And this was around Christmas time, so I was feeling very festive and wanted to do a winter village of sorts. This crater is literally perfect to build in. I had already thought about doing some kind of cabin getaway, and since Christmas was coming, this is literally perfect. But here's our first cabin here. I added lots of banners around just to make it feel extra festive. And then I did zero interior for any of these builds. I was really just focused on the exteriors and just terraforming and decorating as much as I could. And then we have another cabin here, and then this cute little A-frame cabin right here. Someone had a great idea to add like a little village blacksmith inside of this cave here. This cave was pretty much just naturally here. I just terraformed it and made it into more of a village blacksmith, which I think is adorable. Oh yeah, and I forgot there's powdered snow everywhere. The whole time I was building this thing, I was building it with leather boots on. So I need to be careful. I guess I'm only walking on the pathways. Of course, I had to add a donkey stable to this village. And then over here, we have our town square of sorts. I was thinking this could be like a donation bin. If you've ever played Harvest Moon, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or just like a present donation bin or something like that. But just a cute town square to do lots of festive activities. I also have lots of places in the village where I have crops, but I can't go up there because I don't have any leather boots on me. And then this is our last little cabin here. I added this little ice skating rink pretty early on, and I love the reflection of the lanterns in the ice. I think that's so cool. Let's see if I can see it. Oh, see? I love the reflections in the ice. It looks so cool. This place is truly the perfect winter wonderland, and I love how this turned out. I loved doing this project so much. It was so much fun. If we go over here, this is our little frog island. This is my latest project. I just finished this not too long ago. I decided to bring the mangrove swamp over to my base because we don't have a mangrove swamp really close, and I wanted a place that we could put a bunch of little frogs. So if they haven't jumped off and went in the ocean, we should have lots of frogs around here. There's another green one, there's a white one. Yep, there's definitely lots of little frogs sprinkled around here. But I really wanted this to feel even more lush than the usual mangrove swamp feels, and just so magical and cozy. I think that the lush cave and the mangrove swamps go really, really well together. Like, just look at this. Isn't this beautiful? It's picturesque. It's so cozy. Look at the spore blossoms. Those are beautiful. All the little effects. And the frogs are, of course, an adorable addition. Oh, and we even still have some tadpoles that haven't grew up yet. So there's going to be even more frogs in this island. But if we come off of the island and go over here, this is the creeper farm where I got all of the gunpowder that I needed for the world. And let's see if I can make this landing. I probably won't be able to, but no, I'm going to be confident. I can do it. I did it. But here is the massive creeper farm. It works so well. There's not a lot of gunpowder in here because of course I take it with me, but it is completely automatic and I just sit here and it does its thing and it's fantastic. You literally just AFK and it just gives you so much gunpowder. I think this is a pretty basic farm, so nothing fancy about it. Definitely takes a lot of resources, but it's definitely not hard to make by any means. And just, oh my goodness, I love this thing. It works so well. There is one more thing I need to show you. I wrote a little list for myself so I didn't forget anything. But right on over here, we have the little shepherd's house. This is whenever I realized that I like to play Minecraft like a farming simulator. So I didn't want to make an automatic sheep farm. I just wanted it to be a little bit more natural and also more friendly. I always feel so bad building automatic sheep farms, so I didn't really want to build one in this world. But we still have the red and green sheep from the winter village. I did do the interior briefly inside of the shepherd's house. Nothing fancy, but it is done, so that's good. And then here's the outside. I love doing windows like this. I think it's so cool. There's a little chimney. There's little mangrove wood. I love this house. It's so cute. We also have a little sunflower hill, a little well. I just added so many little details to this area. I really wanted it to feel like a fully functioning farm of sorts, like one person can live here and sustain forever. So they have little farms, a little chicken coop, of course, their livelihood, the sheep. This is the only chicken coop of this world, and I love it. It's so cute. Okay, here are all the chickens. I know we have Dusty here somewhere. Dusty, there's Dusty, our chicken Dusty who lived up in our attic. In the starter house, but he got a bit of a life upgrade whenever I built a chicken coop. And with that, that is going to do it for this world tour. Definitely let me know what you think about this world. I, again, just love this world so much. It makes me a little emotional to think about the fact that I am never really going to play in this world ever again, but it just holds such a special place in my heart. But again, the playlist will be linked down below if you haven't watched the Let's Play. And if you did like this video, then feel free to like and subscribe. And I hope that you all have a lovely, lovely day. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!